Hey, what's up, everybody? Video 44 coming at you in another video. All right, Jonas Knox. He said that we're full of crap. Went on a 10-minute soliloquy about it. Uh, Bulletin board material, maybe. I don't know. That's about as much as I'm gonna say about it. I think he's trying to make a name for himself. Go him. I don't know. Um, See, it's funny to me, man. I think at the end of the day, I think people really want us to have this uh, attitude that they've strummed up in their head about what they believe a Laker fan is. His idea is that we've been gone, and now that LeBron's back playing at a high level, we're just jumping on the bandwagon. Now, what he said was true. We did call AD soft and ask for us to trade those two guys and all these different things. We did. We went through the ebbs and flows of what this season provided us. So I can't fight anybody in regards to the wishy-washiness of my own opinion. I don't know if you want to project that on the entire fan base. I know people who didn't share that at all. Many who didn't share that at all. But for the sake of myself, fair. But at the end of the day, I react to what I see, and I provide updated opinions. So if something is changed, I always tell you guys. New data will provide new opinions each and every time. New truths just the same. So, um, you know, what have you done for me lately is the unfortunate truth in regards to the LA Lakers, and we always have our idea about what success should be, which is most of the time Larry O'Brien in our hands riding the parade down Figueroa. And so, when we think that we're far away from that, or we think our team isn't giving us that, or we think our front office isn't providing all of that, or some variation of a combination of that, we go, ape crap, so to speak. We don't hold our tongue, but it's not because we want to belittle people, it's because we want to bring the best out of them. And judging by what I've seen, that's what we've done. So that's really what I have to say to those who are upset at Laker fans for what it is that they seem to see as us basically supporting our team after bashing our team. You got to understand where the bashing was come from. It was coming from a place of support and investment, and not seeing the return on that investment. If you know how passionate these fans were about winning and seeing their teams succeed and seeing the guys do well, then you'd understand why we want the same from our team when we, think about some of the guys who worn a uniform before. We know of real effort. We know of real dedication. We know why the love is so deep for the franchise, because we felt that love with guys who've long since taken the jersey off, but first made sure they wore it correctly. And so we demand the same from the guys who wear it today. And when we don't see that excellence, we demand from the front office to provide us that excellence, or what have you. And we end up getting it. We don't settle for less. We are not confused about what the best is. And when people come here, we feel like it's our right to see them play their best and bring us the trophy. And we're going to try to inspire them by way of our support and our ire. When they show us that they don't have it, we may boo. We may, call for people to be, fired or traded or what have you. But at the end of the day, we support our team, and whoever puts on the uniform is going to get our support if we believe they're giving us the quality that we feel they can give us, to the level that they can provide us. We don't expect everybody to be LeBron. We don't expect everybody to be AD or Kobe, but we do expect you to be your best. We do expect you to work your progressions. We do expect you to give us your all when you have it, and when you don't have it, we expect for you to support the team and make the sacrifice necessary. And that's what I ask. If you don't have it that night, have a seat. And I mean that in a very positive way, so that you can celebrate the team as it succeeds on your behalf. Maybe they can cheer you up if you don't have it that day. But we don't ask you to go out there and don't give us your all, or go out there and halfway play. And so that's what it is. I think other guys, in other fan bases, rather, in other places, maybe they have lower expectations for what they expect from their teammates, their team, and as a result, maybe they receive lesser from year to year. You know, I was listening to, well, rather reading up on different fan bases, as I always do, seeing the reactions to some of the failure, and some of them feel so hopeless. Look at the Philadelphia 76ers. One dude said he's done being a Sixer fan because he gets the same result every year. And it's like, at some point in time, you know what I'm saying, you do get to a point where you want to jump fan bases if you see so much failure. We don't ever have to go through that because our team has provided us so much of it. And we can't relate to the year in, year out ineptitude because that's something that our team has never failed us with. And with the fortunate, location that we have, we are able to attract, free agents on top of that. So it helps. It helps that we get a guy like Kobe Bryant who want to be in this uniform for 20 years, and guys like Shaquille O'Neal who want to leave NBA championship contenders to come here. I mean, it helps. But at the end of the day, you got to have something established before that would otherwise make people even dream about being a Laker, and that stuff was first established by people as well. So we can't help it that a foundation was established with 17 NBA championships from which we can work with right now. And we can't help that we were alive to see them win about 7 or 8 of them, depending on how old we are. We can't help that. You know what I mean? That we understand what excellence is and demand it from our team every year. We may be spoiled, but we're also a team that has had the privilege of watching great basketball for many years at a time. And to some very, very horrible years as well, where our team was not very talented. And we rooted them on just the same. So that's really what I got to say to that guy. He said we disappeared. I certainly didn't. I know a bunch of people who didn't. Millions, actually, to be honest with you. They stuck around for the soccer years and everything in between that, and before and after, and they're going to be here after you have forgotten to. So that's really what it is, man. This Laker thing doesn't rub off. We're happy to be in the Western Conference Finals, but we were also happy when we drafted the second overall pick twice in a row. It was great, seeing the progression of those young players, and it was great being able to acquire LeBron James and Anthony Davis, and we appreciate the entire process. And I think when you look at the LA Lakers right now, we are a combination of several fan bases. You're looking at the LeBron James fan base, who's also very much in part in this position. You know what I mean? They are very much here. You think about Anthony Davis and people who have been dedicated to him as well, who have also joined the Los Angeles Lakers. I think that's part of it. You got to take into account that not everybody here has the same intentions in regards to what the franchise is about. And so some people want to be here for the long haul. Others want to be here just so that, they can celebrate their guy until he moves on. Or if he retires here, maybe they'll see this as their team if they decide to stick around and have a team, so to speak. But at the end of the day, that's really what it is. So when you're assessing the LA Lakers, particularly while we have the core that we have, it's going to be some separation between who has the best interest of the franchise in mind and who has more so the timeline of this unit in mind. And I think it was the same when we had Kobe, but the thing about Kobe is it was just simply never a moment where the separation ever had to occur. Kobe always played for the Lakers, so it was never a reason for any of those fan bases to separate. But if he would have separated from this team, we would have seen some separation there, I believe. So that's just what it is when you have superstars coupled with the magnitude of the diehards who are attached to this team just in general. Like myself, who could care less who wears the uniform so long as it's purple and gold. You know what I mean? And so that's really what it's about. I think when I represent from that point of view. But I'm also extremely inclusive to the fan bases of these superstars, because I understand that you can't win championships without superstars. You know what I mean? You can put together the best team, and you can hopefully draft guys who will turn into superstars. But at the end of the day, if you really want to win anything, you're going to need some unicorns. You're going to need some incredible pantheon great talents. And so if they choose to be here, their fan base is going to come with them. And that's something we should most definitely appreciate, because they can choose to be anywhere in the world. So a team like the Lakers have to always be ready for the bandwagon to be open, or for new fan bases to come in and possibly just kind of have their own interests at heart and really hate us 10 years from now, when their guy is gone and goes to another place. So that's really how it just has to be. But I think, now that fan bases and various individuals have their own voice, you can start to see the culture start to shift in whatever way it does. And I think for myself, I'm trying to help people understand that you can really still be fans of a team, because at the end of the day, players have to retire, and you're just going to find yourself freelancing as these guys move around so much. It can get a little frustrating when you jump from team to team to team because your guy becomes a journeyman, or when your guy loses his athleticism or what have you, it starts to wane off. You're going to have to find another guy. And so for me, it's been much easier just naturally being a part of a team fan base since I was a child. It was never really something I had to really think too much about. And so it's I guess it's a little different for me, but I don't know if I can promote being a team fan, I guess you can say. I don't know if that's the way to go. I'm not sure. It worked for me, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, that's what I'm going to represent. So that's what you come to see, my point of view on that. As I speak, I'll try to keep that in mind. But I tend to be hard on my team too, so it could get a little frustrating if you're a fan of the Lakers. Listen to me sometimes too, I'd imagine. But nevertheless, it's one of those things where when I see stuff like this online, I don't say it offends me, because I know what he's doing. He's trying to raise awareness for his own brand, and then from there, hopefully propel himself to new heights, which I don't have a problem with. But I just, find myself representing the Laker Nation, so I know it's going to be something that we talk about, and I think it could be helpful to us, because you're giving us bulletin board material, yet more disrespect, you know what I mean? So I haven't really followed Fox Sports as it pertains to everybody that's doing their commentary lately and what have you. Not as it pertains to some of their kind of side guys, obviously with the main dude Skip, and of course everybody that's on FS1, that's a different story. But I'm talking about some of the guys that are doing more online stuff. I haven't really followed what they're doing as much, and so from what I understand, it's kind of getting to a point where it seems like they're taking like a political way of doing things, to where like LeBron is the guy to hate on their network, as opposed to like if it were say a political figure that maybe they just choose to hate during this tenure of time or what have you. So I guess they're kind of taking that kind of thing, and LeBron is the guy they're hating on Fox, from what I've been able to gather. So I don't know, maybe there's some consistency there, but all in all, I just think it's a positive for the LA Lakers. We need something to motivate us. We need something to wake us up. Even though this is the Western Conference Finals, at the end of the day, we did just overcome Steph Curry and the reigning NBA champions. And I think to a degree, with us having this relaxed kind of attitude, you need things to kind of prep us up. You need the disrespect. You need people to keep telling us that we're not as good as the Nuggets, or that we can't necessarily win the championship, or whatever they're going to say. We need that, because if not for that, I'm concerned that our team is just going to kind of come in and just be lackadaisical. We woke up when Memphis started talking, that kind of thing. We woke up when things started getting chippy with the Golden State Warriors. What's going to wake us up with the Denver Nuggets? To me, it seems like all the disrespect coming from the media. And as a Laker fan, to be honest with you, I can't say I remember all of the rankings growing up as a child, but I do remember this feeling before big series just about every single time. In the early 2000s, in the 2010s, all of the different championships that we won, we were usually the team that they said we probably couldn't do anything. Even if we felt like we had the best team, they'd say that about Shaq and Kobe teams going up against guys that we ended up beating. Oh, the Lakers are underdogs, such and such number favorites. Oh, it's the other team. All right, fine. That's cool. And then we go and proceed to spank them around, get them in 6 or what have you. And then people would forget that we were the underdogs going in, even though we clearly felt like we had a either comparable or better team. It was always us a little worse than the guys we were about to beat. And so This is just yet another one of them situations where I feel like this could be the same thing. You know what I mean? If you see this your whole life, you're like, yeah, of course, we're worse than the Nuggets according to the media. Of course. And the funny thing is, they're gonna prop our name up all season long. Whether we're good or bad, they're gonna talk about us more than any other team. Us and the Cowboys, up in the Cowboys. And then when we get all the way to the end, according to them, we can never deliver. Now the guys down the hall, the Clippers, they always a contender. No matter how many times they fail, no matter how many times they trot out the same core, it's always, yeah, they're gonna win it for sure. Yeah, we can believe in the Clippers. Yeah, for sure, they're always a contender. They always fail, just the same. But with us, as many times as we've come through and delivered before the media's eyes with different units, different superstars, total different teams, whatever the case may be, we're always the underdog. We're always not the favorites. We're always just a little worse than the other guys. Even when it's even, the Lakers are a little worse. And so that's what I want to tell everybody. Believe you me, this is a media formula that has been used for over 25 years in regards to this team. And we have so many banners representing how many times they've done this and been wrong. So I'm not saying it has to go this way. Nikola Jokic is probably one of the greater players we've ever seen in a 7-game series. But I don't think he has one of the greater teams we've ever seen, and that truly does matter. Truly does matter. And so I think they're being hyped up as a unit. I like their team. I don't love it. I think it's okay. I think they can do better in terms of getting some wing players and defensive players that can help them with wing protection and provide them some more support for Jokic, so he doesn't have to play 48 minutes a game for 82 games a season. Get him more adequate backups, some more athleticism, some more help with his power forward position. I like Gordon there, but maybe getting him another forward, somebody in front of Green. You know what I mean? They can improve their team. But if you listen to everybody talking, they say, oh, the Nuggets are the best. Oh, the Nuggets. And I'm like, the Nuggets have done a lot of great things this year against people who were not Anthony Davis. You know what I mean? So that's really what it comes down to. They've done wonderful things against a lot of teams who did not play defense. Because the best defense in the league as of right now is us. And they haven't seen us yet. So that's really what it comes down to. And I tell that to any hater or anybody else in regards to what's ahead at the current moment. Since that's when this article was released, right before the Western Conference Finals. And so I don't know how this is going to play out, obviously from within my position. But I firmly believe that our team is more than capable of beating the Nuggets. And even if we lose the series, if we play the series 7 times, I think we're going to win it more times than they do. I really believe that. We just have a better roster. And so that's really what it comes down to. And as far as everything else, man, hey, you can say we jumped off the bandwagon and hopped back on with LeBron James. If that's what people want to say, whatever. But at the end of the day, LeBron James and Anthony Davis knows the roller coaster and all of the things this fan base has been on, the ups and the downs. Just like they've heard us boo, they've heard us cheer. You know what I mean? So there's balance to be had on both sides. And at the end of the day, everybody's supporting the team. Believe you me, they would know if we weren't supporting because the numbers would reflect that. These videos would stop coming. People would stop doing all these different Lakers videos and all this. It ain't going nowhere. The support for the Lakers is only growing, and they have a great to do with that. And so we appreciate every star that puts on the uniform, but especially the guys who are doing it now, bringing us so close to glory. You know what I mean? We hope that they are able to deliver. But even if they don't, we appreciate how far we've come. You know what I mean? And we believe in what it is that the media and all these other hater guys that want to write articles and sit down and have conversations about how much we hate are saying. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, our support is going to be shown when we show up at the parade. When we win that championship, you're going to know exactly how many Laker fans are available to support. And it's going to be a ton more who aren't going to be able to make it here all over the world. All over the world. So don't let this guy marginalize Laker fans to a few people that he's heard about who said a few things that he can write an article about. Because believe you me, he doesn't represent all of us, and neither do I. So that's pretty much what I got to say about that. But either way, man, looking forward to this game tomorrow. Of course, I'm going to have more content for everybody in regards to that and every other Laker game I am able to, in regards to content. I'm dedicated, so I don't anticipate I'll miss too many games. But it is what it is, man. We definitely appreciate that the Los Angeles Lakers are this far into the playoffs so that people like him could have something to talk about rather than how bad we're doing or just forgetting about us altogether. We're still relevant. They told us many times we couldn't get superstars. They told us many times we weren't going to beat this team or that team. As I already mentioned, the Clippers are going to overtake the city, all this different stuff that they've told us. Look where we are. Look where we are. So when we get here, all they can say is, oh, you didn't always support. Oh, you hated. Oh, you front runners. Oh, you separate. You're not really fans. They can say all kinds of stuff because they can't hate on the team because the team is doing well. So they're just going to turn their attention to the fan bases because at the end of the day, they just want to hate on something, purple and gold. If for no other reason, because there ain't nothing else to do. Nothing else is relevant. See who they're really disrespecting is all the other teams they're not talking about. Particularly the ones who are still in the playoffs. He ain't talking about the Miami Heat fan base. He ain't talking about the Nuggets fan base. He ain't talking about the Celtics fan base. What about them? They're 8 games away from the finals too. From the championship as well, aren't they? These type of things just like we know we're relevant. We know we're better than these teams at this point. We know this. Now, whether or not they know us to be better, or whether or not we're gonna go out there and prove it, that's up to us and that's up to them. But at the end of the day, I know what we got over here. This roster is built to beat the teams that are left here. It's just up to us to go out there and prove it. And shut people like this guy up. That's pretty much all I gotta say. My name is BDL44. I thank you all for watching.